Hello, Anuj Habda here. Today we are going to learn a very interesting topic, that's chilies, needed by all of us in our kitchen and easy to grow. Few things are there which we have to keep it in mind while growing chili. First thing comes from where to source the seeds. So basically these dry chilies are always there in our houses. Now it's up to you what kind of a chilies you like. If you really like chilies which are not spicy, like this bhedki chili, or these are guntur chilies which are really spicy, or whatever the store-bought chilies you have in your house. So suppose these kind of a store-bought chilies we get the green color. If you keep it for a few days, they'll turn red, and once it dries completely, they become the seed for growing chilies. So pretty easy. You have to see which kind of you can say the flavor or the spiciness you need in chilies. So season wise throughout the year, anytime you can sow them. Now once you have taken out the seeds, you can just break the chilies and you can take out the seeds like this. If possible, just keep it in sunlight for some hours so it becomes more, you can say, viable. So once you have taken out the seeds, just take any soil mix. No need to grow in generally the other saplings how we grow in only coco peat. That way also in the seed tray you can grow, or you can mix it in a smaller container, whatever the potting mix you have. In that you can sow the seeds, gently press it under the soil, approximately half an inch, more than enough. Make sure whenever you prepare a potting mix for seedling, it should be rich in organic matter. That's more of compost, and coco peat is good enough, so that the roots, when they are getting in developed, they need a really light medium to spread their fibrous roots. So don't make the potting mix too hard. Okay. Now this way, if you keep watering your plants and keep it in initial stage in some indirect sunlight area, once the saplings you can see they have reached minimum 4 to 6 leaves, that's the ideal time you can transplant it to your main pot. Only make sure is you should never pull it from here, as I always say. It might rupture your xylem phloem, so the you can say the water and food pipe of the plant can be disrupted. So the initial growth, if it is getting disturbed further, the plant will not do that well. So very careful in transplanting. You just hold the pot like this, tap it from the back little, and then the whole thing comes out with the soil. That is the only way we have to transplant it. Now this plant, if you have time and space, try doing transplanting minimum 2 to 3 times, till the time the plant reaches a nice thick, you can say, stem. It loves multi-transplanting, so minimum 2 to 3 is ideal. So now once it has reached the stage when we are transplanting it in a bigger pot, so ideally 12 to 15 inches container is good enough for growing chili, because its roots go quite deep. So do not grow in too shallow containers, otherwise the foliage will be good, but the chili formation will not happen that good. Now when we talk about soil mix, equal quantity of soil, coco peat and compost you have to take. Yes, 1 handful of neem cake, and apart from the neem cake, you can add little of lime, tuna, because this plant loves too much of calcium. If at the beginning only in the soil it has been provided, it really thrives well. And as I told you, this plant is not very difficult to grow, but yeah, needs some care at different stages of its life cycle. So now once if we have transplanted it in a container, we have started watering it. Make sure you have kept it in full sun, because this plant does not like filtered or semi sunlight. That loves to have a proper sunlight. And misting always, these leaves should always be little on a moisture side, because generally you have seen the problem what people face in growing chili are the leaves curls up. Either sometimes it will be curled up or curled down. Curled up because what happens whenever it is kept in full sunlight and the watering is less in the soil, so the plant tries to control evaporation, so that if the leaf is little on a curled way upside curled, so the transpiration process will be little slow, and the water evaporation also will be little slow, so the plant can conserve water to a longer time. So that is a plant way to you can say restore its water. So now when we talk about this companion planting, this plant needs a very good companion as it is attracted too much by aphids and spider mites. So we have to make sure from the very beginning that which plants we are going to grow with them, so that either we have to repel the pest or we have to get the pest directed or diverted towards some other plants. So first I'll show you the plants which I am growing in different containers, what kind of a companion I have given, then we'll talk about the care. Now the first plant, if you see in this chili, with the chili I am growing Indian borage, parsley, and here smaller marigold is there, and these are the plants you can say which are too aromatic and it repels the pest. At the same time I am growing here peanut, which is a you can say a nitrogen fixer. So my plant is getting a continuous nitrogen also because of the peanut. Now if you see this plant, now this is a chili plant growing. With this, the another plant is cabbage and little you can say turmeric, and some weeds are also there. So now I'm growing chilies and cabbage together. As both are little tricky plants, so what happens, I have to select which is my main plant. Suppose the chili is my main plant, then cabbage I will not bother so much. So even if the pest attack is happening, they'll get diverted towards this. I'm not spraying anything much on this. So all the pest attack will be here and this plant will be saved. If this is my main plant, then the same thing I'll have to concentrate on this, and this is to get the pest get diverted towards this plant. So we have to make that way. Now if you come to this plant, here you can see apart from the chilies, I'm growing corn, Indian borage, and little mustard I'm growing. So these are all the pest repellent thing, and they are very good. You can say they improve the soil quality also. And at the same time, when these mustards they are going to flower, they'll be really attracting the pollinators. So when you see the chilies and all, see how many chilies are there. So few tricks are there in chili plants to take care, that I'll be discussing. So as and when the plant is growing, so make sure that you do multiple pinching. As and when approximately when it reaches 10 to 12 inches, we have to control its height by pinching the upper tip. The time we are going to pinch the upper tip, generally the plants will give more side branches. That branches also to some extent we have to let it grow, and then we'll have to keep pinching so that further more branches come. In a smaller size only, you can say it's a kind of a dwarf plant we have to create. More branches, more chilies will come. So we have to be very much particular in that stage, because once all the flowering and fruiting will start happening, we cannot make it bushy. So before that only, when they have not reached the flowering stage, we have to make sure that we keep pinching the multiple branches. Now when we talk about flowering, this is the stage. Now it has started flowering. So these flowers basically they have male and female flowers in them only. So either with the brush we can do pollination, or they are self pollinators only. So a little bit of you can say floral plants, if you have kept it around, so pollinators will come and the pollination will take place. So that is not a big question in pollination of this chilies. So once that is done, definitely after this, the next stage is the formation of chilies. Now what happens, many a times this is the stage when the plant gets suffered with the thrips or the leaf curl, and you can say the spider mite attack, aphids attack. So this stage, from the flowering to the fruiting stage, this plant needs really good care. That care can be given in the form of buttermilk spray. In buttermilk you can add just a pinch of hing or asafoetida. So that is the very best. Or if you don't have that, lime or tuna, which we get it in the pan shop, that we can dilute it in water. In 1 liter, half a teaspoon is more than enough, and give a nice drenching to the plant once in a week. If the calcium level of the plant is really good, and all other things you can keep observing, because most of the times from the top when we see, the plant looks really healthy, but at the back side of the leaves sometimes the white flies and the mealybugs or the aphids attack will be there. So by the time we see that on the right side, so all the leaves have been infected at the back side. So make sure whenever you water these chili plants, try giving always a nice showering from the backside. So in case something is going to affect your plant or 1 or 2 pest attack has happened, so that also will be taken care really well. Even if when you are giving a buttermilk spray or whatever, it has to be like this, so that they take a nice bath, you can say. Okay, now when we talk about nutrition, as you can see, the foliage, the fruit, everything is green. That means it needs more of more foliage means more of nitrogen. So weekly once we can give 1 handful of compost. At the same time, once in a month, oil fertilizers if you give, so good of protein content will come in the soil, so the fruiting will be really good. So make sure whenever you are taking care of chili, few things as I told you: calcium content, pinching of the stems, buttermilk and your asafoetida spray, and at the same time companion planting. If these things you really take care and one more thing is the moisture level. This plant loves its soil to be dry, but at the same time it loves moisture on its leaves. So if you keep misting this plant at least once in a day, apart from watering in the morning, afternoon times just give a nice make sure it should not be in the evening times, so that throughout the night the water should not be there on the leaves, otherwise the fungal attack, fungus problem will start happening. So make sure by afternoon 4 o'clock, if the watering or the misting you want to give it, so that if the leaves are little moist, they really thrive well, they'll be fresh, there won't be any curling of the leaves. One more problem is there: once you have taken all the care, still some pest attack is there. I have already made a video on soap solution with neem oil that you can spray, but sometimes this plant gets affected with thrips or virus attack. So after doing all the treatments, whatever you have done, still the plant is showing a stunted growth. The leaves are not very fresh. The new leaves, whatever they are forming, they are a little you can say tilted or very small in size, or the overall growth of the plant, the chilies are not forming, the flowers are dropping. You can make out if a plant has reached 6 to 8 inches or maximum 10 inches, further it's not growing and the leaves are not looking that fresh, how much ever care you are taking, then try to uproot that plant and throw it, because in case some thrips or virus attack is there on your plant, so it's very difficult to control that organically. Yeah, chemically many medicines are there, but we do not want you to go towards chemical way. So try uprooting that plant and don't put that plant in your composting bin also. Try throwing it somewhere far, so that you can save your plant, other plants. Otherwise, because of the pollinators or the wind, anything, these aphids or the thrips attack or whatever is there, it might get transferred to other plants. So I guess this is an easy plant. And further also, if you want to save your seeds, once the chili is well developed, you can dry them either on the plant or after plucking them, you can dry them, let them be dried like this, and you can save seeds for further sowing. So thank you very much.